Jim, where do we start? Just no idea where to start after a game like that. Imagine you probably don't know where to start.
No, you might get one or two things wrong with regards to how it's gone and scoring and things like that, because it was just one of them mad games. But obviously we're disappointed. We need wins. A point's not good enough. There's loads of positives. Scoring 4 at home, great. Loads of negatives. Conceding 4 at home against the same player. But I have to say he was absolutely outstanding. Charlie Austin. Now he's playing at this level. You can see why he's played in the Premier League and the Championship, and you know, fair play. He's playing at his own town club and he's doing the business for them. And he had some nice words at the end. Such a class, nice fella, conducted himself right on the pitch, got his 4 goals, and obviously that's the difference probably between us not winning the game and drawing it. So you know, fair play to him. But with regards to ourselves, we started poorly. I think we've made 3 errors on missing the ball in critical areas that have cost 3 of the goals. We don't get them. We haven't defended well enough at key times. We give Charlie Austin too much space in the box. We spoke about before the game, myself and Charlie went to watch him on Tuesday. He was on the bench. We thought that he'd come straight back in today. You know, 4 goals in 9 of 10 games before today. So we thought he'd come in, and we discussed, you know, the importance of defending your box and getting tight and not giving them the areas, but we haven't defended well enough. It's disappointing. And as I say, we've made a couple of critical errors, missed kicks in three occasions that have cost us. But it takes us to bang one in from 25 yards in the top corner. It takes a nice move or a counter tackle with Ibby, who I'm really pleased for that he's got his goal. He's playing well. He's affecting the game. He's creating opportunities. I'm pleased that he's got a goal today. Hendel coming on there and scoring from a corner. Good delivery, Liam Kelly. So we've had to work hard. We've made other opportunities as well. We could have scored more than we did. I've just been told it's a stonewall penalty. So again, that's the difference last week against Grimsby. For me, no one's on the earth's going to tell me anything different. It's a penalty last week against Grimsby. I've looked at it about 100 times from different angles, and that's the difference. You get 1-0 there and suddenly the crowd are up, and we've just won the week before against Stevenage and we'll cock a hoop. Ultimately we lose the game, but it hinges on key moments like that. So that's gone against us. It's gone against us today, and all those things can make, you know, give you that momentum and that confidence. You know, it could have been another 3 points last week, in my opinion. Looking over the game, it should have been. Looking at the game today, you know, their 3rd game in a week, we've applied ourselves. We didn't start particularly well, but what the lads have shown is plenty of character. It's easy at 2-0 down. You know, I can sense, well, it's understandable the position we're in. There's a lot of negativity. 2-0 down at home early on, and it could have been easy to go under against a team like that, because they are a very good possession-based footballing side. They're well drilled, well coached. But thankfully we asked questions of them. We scored a couple of goals and got ourselves back on level terms. We had a goal disallowed again. I'll have a look at that. There's so many talking points within the game, but you know, we've got our nose in front. They've pegged us back. They've got the nose in front, and again, it could have been easy, you know, to get beat today. But again, we've shown resilience and character, and we'll come back together. You know, for me, a deserved draw at the very least. So take it on the chin. All systems go for next week now.
I mean, the problem is that the other teams at the bottom aren't doing you any favours. I mean, Crawley won again today, which makes next week's game absolutely critical. You simply have to win at Crawley. Yeah,
again, you can't. I've said this all along. We can't rely on other teams to do us favours. It's at that stage of the season. I've seen it many a time here in the last 10 games. There's going to be, you know, teams that are fighting relegation like we are. There's teams that are fighting for getting in the playoffs and promotion automatic. And all the other teams in between, you know, some teams can play without fear and actually go on. You know, if they're not expected to do well and suddenly they're playing well and they're under no pressure and they go and enjoy the run, there'll be other teams who are underachieving and they're under a bit of stress, and it could be good times to play them. So it's a scary you know, stage of the season. You know, it's very hard to predict what's going to happen. But as I say, we can't rely on other teams getting beat. It's always nice if they do and we can pick up something, because ultimately we close the gap, but that's not the case. You know, we looked at Hartlepool before the game, you know, get the draw and then Crawley obviously go and get the win. But yeah, that's where we're at. We've done all we can to win the game. As I said at the start, there's plenty of positives. 4 at home, could have scored 8, had a big shout for a penalty, but the negatives are we haven't defended our box, but we won't come up against as good a player as Charlie Austin every week. You know, for someone to come here away from home and score 4 goals, it's outstanding. But we can do better. You know, we've shot ourselves in the foot on a couple of occasions today, with mistakes made and, you know, not defending our box well enough, which again has been a bit of a problem all season. But as I say, there's positives to take with the character, the determination to come back, get a point. We've got to box all that and be positive, have a good week, and go to Crawley next week and try and win the game.